Hello everyone, this is Todd Screama, CEO of Summit Funding. Thanks for taking a moment to watch this video called Love versus Fear. So, about 6 months ago, I read a book that changed my life called Lead for God's Sake. And if you want to get it, it's one of my top 5 that I've ever read. And it's all about leadership. And at the end of the day, what I got from that book is there's really 2 driving forces that drive everybody. If you want to simplify it down, and I like simple, it's you're either fear-driven on a subject or you're love-driven. And you look at what drives people, I would say most people make about 90% of their decisions from fear. And I'm going to prove that to you through an exercise in a minute. So you think about that, you're like, well, first of all, is that true? I'll give you an example. If I go to work because I'm in fear of getting fired, that would be a fear-based decision. If I am afraid to sell, I'm a salesperson, and I'm afraid to cold call Mark and ask for an appointment because he might turn me down and say no. A more loving-based way of thinking about selling would be, hey, I'm going to call Mark because I love getting to know great people, and I know he's great at what he does. I'm going to call Mark because I want to send my kids to college, and I really love my kids. That's more loving ideas. So what we've got to do is we've got to take any fear-based decisions and we've got to want to reframe them. And it's a psychological thing that this is why positive people are so successful, by the way, is they constantly reframe into positive. I'll have something bad happen on a loan file or someone quit and I'm like, oh man, I hate that happened, but what did we learn from it? You know, it's a constant reframe to a more loving mentality than a fear-based mentality. Here's the assignment that'll blow you away, is you just take a simple sheet of paper, you write fear on one side and love on the other, and you record 15 thoughts and actions that you take over 2 days. 15. And if it's love-based, like, hey, I'm going to stop by before I get home and buy my wife some flowers, not in fear because she's mad about last night that I didn't do the dishes, but because I just love her. That would be on the love column, okay? And you just record 15 things like that. If the boss walks by your office and he starts walking into your office and you thought, man, he's coming here to reprimand me, that would be a fear-based thought, instead of, oh my God, I get to say hi to Mike, because I really like him, I respect him, he's my boss. That would be more of a loving thought, okay? And so you simply record these. I'm willing to bet you that at 80 to 90% of your recordings, when you're really honest with yourself, wind up on the fear column. And I will tell you that epiphany, to really do that, because I've done it personally, when you really do that and you look at the results, you'll start to ask yourself, what is that all about? And what it's about is we've trained our brains wrong. We've trained our brains to say, man, be fearful of this. Be fearful of the hot stove. It probably started when we were little kids. And then we carry it through to adulthood. And then we carry that on to our kids. We say, hey, don't go out of the box, Jimmy. Don't go out of the box. Just go to college and get a good job. Well, maybe Jimmy wants to be an artist. Or maybe Jimmy wants to be a director. But he never took that path because we feared, fear, right? What's the worst that can happen? He eats a cup of noodles, for a couple years and doesn't make it as an actor or artist or whatever. It's no big, when you really look at it, it's no big deal, okay? But it's this constant fear-based mentality that is the drudgery. Now listen, I'm talking to Americans here, and America is the most successful country in the world, and 80 to 90% of our thoughts are fear-based. So guys, do the exercise. Read the book, Lead for God's Sake. I swear to you, those 2 things will radically change how you view love and fear, and I think over the course of several months will bring an awareness about that will totally change your life. Thanks for listening, guys.